Let me aim in, try to nail this shot into the ISF. What in the mick? What is up, guys? I'm your host Riker, and in today's video I'll be going over whether the Object 704 is actually good or bad in today's state of the game. The Object completely stock is not going to be that good. Let's face it, it's going to suck pretty bad. At least in my personal experience, it was pretty bad until I got to the tier 10 gun, and then it was pretty manageable, and that gun happens to be on the tier 8, the ISU 152. However, it still is really good on the Object. For the hit points, you get another 800 hit points compared to the tier 8 ISU, along with the armor gets a little bit of a buff, but on paper it does not look that good considering you're going up against tier 10s and even tier 9s with a whole lot more pen than your armor. But however, it makes up for it with all the troll bounces it gets, and along with all the sloped armor on the tank. We'll look at that more in Armor Inspector. No! The view range is not that good on this tank. In a pinch, if you absolutely have to, you can use the view range, but I would prefer to allow my teammates to spot the targets for me and allow me to get shots in on them. The concealment, however, is a different story. It is amazing. It is superb. You could get multiple shots off on the enemy as long as you are supporting your team from a bit of a distance in a concealed location. They won't even know what hit them until they get close enough to you, and by that point, you and your team most likely would have destroyed them or got their hit points all the way down to a one shot. Now, the damage per minute on this tank is not crazy insane like the Yag Tigers. However, it is sitting at a good 3,000 damage per minute, along with the reload time sitting about a little shy of 13 seconds, which is pretty good. The penetration on this TD is good. It will pen most, if not all, tier 10s that you come up against, with the AP sitting at 286, the APCR, the premium ammunition, sitting at 329, and the high explosive sitting at 90.
Nice.
For the damage of the Object, it is pretty much what you would expect from a standard tank destroyer at tier 9, with the AP sitting around 640, the APCR sitting around 545, and the high explosive around 960. Granted, it will vary depending on high rolls or low rolls. Considering this is a Russian tank, the aiming time is not good, sitting at 4.5 seconds, along with the dispersion at 0.353. However, you can lower this through the equipment and the provisions. For the gun elevation sitting at 18 degrees, it is going to be good for certain spots that you find yourself in. Say enemies on a hill and you need to aim up and hit them. You will most likely be able to do that to a certain extent. However, the gun depression is not going to be that great at 6 degrees, so that will hinder you useless in certain spots of the map, so you got to be careful on where you position yourself or you won't be able to get shots off. For the gun turn limit, left to right, it is going to be 11 degrees. That is not going to be the best, but it is enough to work with. The top speed going forward is going to be 37, and in reverse, it will be 13, with the average speed being around 31. This is not going to be the fastest TD. However, that is fast enough to get you into positions at the start of the battle and for you to either reposition or pull back into cover. The hull turn rate on this tank sucks. It absolutely sucks. Doesn't matter what tank you have, circle deathing you, whether it's a light, medium, or heavy tank. I got circled to death by a T-57 heavy, and there was nothing I could do. The only way you could get an enemy tank that is circle deathing you off you is either have your team there supporting you, or find a building or rock, doesn't matter what it is, and put your backside up against it and slide them off of you. For the terrain crossing capacity and the engine power, it overall looks pretty decent for the Object. I'm gonna flash the consumables, provisions, the ammunition, and the equipment on the screen right now. You guys could either use it as a template or copy it completely. I don't care what you do with it. That's just how I personally like to run the Object 704. As you guys could see, just sitting still and an enemy aiming at you straight on, they could pin you pretty easily. The only places that they would be able to bounce is either the gun mantlet or these cheeks right here. Now, if you start wiggling, that will make it very hard for them to hit. Just right there, that is around 200, and if I do it on the other side, around 200 also. That is very difficult for the enemy to hit as long as you keep wiggling when they are about to shoot you from the front. As you could see on the side of the Object 704, it is very angled, and that is what makes it very troll. I can't tell you how many times an enemy has bounced off my side and I couldn't explain it. That is because of this. The amount of angles on the side of this tank causes what I would like to call the black hole effect. Then on the backside, you could see that pretty much anybody could pin you if they hit this middle part. The only places that they could bounce are these side cheeks right here that are very angled. That's the only spot that they'll be able to bounce on the backside of you, so try to hide that as much as possible. I would recommend playing the Object 704 more as the second or third line tank. That is where I found it is best suited for throughout all the games I have played in it. Yes, you could play more aggressively on the front line, as you will see in the 3 replays I have for you. I just tend to be more of an aggressive player, and it can work depending on the team layouts in the situations of the battle. You just got to be on your toes and observing everything when you are on the front line, and you might just survive and get a good game in it. Like in these 3 replays I have for you, the first battle is mainly with tier 8s, the second one mainly tier 9s, and the third one with tier 9s and tier 10s, so you guys could see how effective it is throughout all 3 tiers. I'm gonna pull up into the spot right here and just hold this angle as I cap out base C, because the E2 is a one shot, so if he pulls out, I could easily one tap him and send him back to the garage. And in the process of doing this, I recognize that the enemy team is flanking us, and they already took out one of our tanks, and they are moving very fast, so if we don't move right now, we might just lose this game. So I'd be super aggressive, pull up and get a shot into the Tiger 2, trying to motivate this team over here that are behind me to push up and actually push through these 3 tanks so we could turn around and deal with the 4 flanking us. I am pulling back so I could reload. Now I'm waiting for my team, seeing if they will actually push up, but it does not look like they are, so I try to pull up, get a shot into the Tiger 2, but finally our 50 TP takes him out, so I snap a shot into that T30, effectively setting him on fire, which is always very nice to get a little bit extra damage out. We get a nice bounce from the E2, so since we know he is on a reload, I'm going to push up really aggressive and just snap a shot into this T30, taking out one of the biggest guns on the enemy team. However, the E2 did not like that, so he's going to penetrate the shot on us, and as long as we do not get hit one more time, we are good. We could survive this battle, and he has such low hit points that I'm just going to load HE and splash him, and luckily he bounces us. I believe it was on the gun mantlet. Now I'm going to push over to this hill right here to see if I could get any shots on the enemy team to support my teammates, and it does not look like I could get any shots right now, so I'm just going to hold here for a second, see if anybody comes out in the open or tries to zoom by or circle of death one of our friendly tanks. However, it does not look like that, but it does look like the T28 defender is about to get really screwed, so I decided to quickly reposition and try to get over to him in time to at least try to save him or get a good amount of damage out on the enemy tank, focusing him. Right now it looks like it's the Pershing, the Object 84, and I believe the T32. Yeah, the T32, he was just spotted, and our T28 defender is going to hold in there for as long as he can, but he's going to be taken out any second now, so I'm going to quickly push up and try to snap a shot into this T32, and there we go, we make the shot, and it was a high roll. You gotta love the high rolls, and luckily we bounced the shot on the tracks from him. So I activate the adrenaline and start backing up since the Object 84 is pushing up. He is one of the biggest threats, so I focus him first, snap a shot into him. However, he does pin me, so I back up into cover so he cannot hit me. Try to back up enough to allow myself some time to reload and take out the T32 and back up into cover more so the object does not focus me. Now I'm just gonna sit here, chill, wait until I'm reloaded, and wait for my teammates to push up so they could take the hit so I could get some shots in before he takes me out of the game. Looks like one of our heavy tanks is pushing up along with the T54 lightweight, and I am able to use them as cover or meat shields, whatever you want to use, and snap a shot into them, taking them out of the game, and we get a very good game. Yes, it was against tier 8s, but still, we get 5,111 damage and a mastery along with the top gun. If you have made it this far into the video, go ahead and comment pineapple down in the comment section below just to confuse people, and while you're down there, also let me know what you think of the Object 704. Do you think it's good or bad? In this battle, we are going up against tier 9s and tier 10s, so you guys will be able to see how effective this tank is against both tiers. And right now I am sitting in the back like how I recommended you guys to play, but in a second I will be pushing up since our Leo 1 is just sitting right next to us. Yes, I know he has no armor, but he is a medium. His role is to go out there, cap out base A, and get spots on the enemy so I could direct my fire towards them, or if I need to, reposition to better support my team. However, I decided to take the role upon myself, a TD, to fill his role for him instead. And our E50 is hanging in there for now, and we are going to run into the Foch 155, as you will see. There he is. We just spotted him, and he is going to bounce off of our gun or gun mantlet. I'm not sure exactly which one, but we switched to APCR. Our E50 tracks him in place, so we are able to snap a shot into his cupola. He manages to get a shot into us, so I activate adrenaline and I start backing up. He starts redirecting his attention to the E50, and the E50 manages to lower him down to a definite one shot. He tries to retreat, refocuses on me. I switch back to APCR and hit him in the cupola again, sending him back to the garage. I don't know what our E50 was thinking, but he just rushes out in the open and gets utterly destroyed. So I decide to try to back up, and our Leo finally moves up, but he runs into me. So I start looking for shots, decide to hit that IS-8 as he starts rolling out. So I back up into cover after I get that shot. And right now our situation is not good. Our E50 decided to yellow for no reason. Leo 1 clearly does not know how to play the game, and the rest of our team is camping base C. So yeah, you could probably guess what I am thinking right now. What kind of team do I have? My only option now is either to fall back all the way to the city or hold this position. Is that boss music I hear? That's right. I decide to hold this position against like 4 tier 9s. I decide to push up, see if I could get shots to that E50. I check to make sure the VK is not coming towards me, and that cheeky E50 bounces my gun. Man, he is going to be punished by getting nice 800 high roll shot. You gotta love that. Right into his side, and he is effectively a complete one shot for me. I'll easily delete him, but my team does that for me. I start focusing this T-54 behind me. He manages to track me, but I manage to track him in return with another high roll. I guess RNGesus just loves me today, but now the VK is rushing me. I go to focus him. He does manage to get a shot into us, but our team takes him out. Thank you, team. I love you. And now I start pushing up, and there's the T-54 again. I don't know if he just thought I wasn't able to hit him there, but I get another shot into him, and he whiffs his shot. I don't know what he was trying to do. He pulls back into cover, and we managed to win on cap points. If that game kept going on, I could have easily got over 4k damage, if not close to 5k damage. But a win is a win, and you can't always take the high damage game. As you guys can see, this match is tier 10 heavy. This is going to perfectly demonstrate how effective the Object 704 is in tier 10 games. I start making my way over to base D to try and support my heavy tanks. I am spotted, so I'm going to quickly get into cover before somebody gets a shot off on me. I want to get a shot off into that IS-8. However, I'm going to wait until I am unspotted before I can do that, and it looks like I am unspotted, so I'm going to quickly go up, snap a shot into him, and get back into cover before somebody could even get a shot into me. And there we go. And I'm gonna wait until we are fully reloaded, and I start checking out the battle, and I notice that the enemy team has captured base C. So I'm gonna pull up and see if I could get a shot into that Vickers light. It does not look like I'll be able to get a shot off on him though, so I'm gonna start looking around and seeing if I could get any other shots from this position. It does not look like I have any shots from my current position. I almost thought that the Vickers light was gonna pull all the way out, allowing me to get a shot off on him, but he does stop in his place, preventing me from getting that shot. I realize we are about to lose our left flank, and the Object 84 just took out our Vickers light, so I'm trying to move over there as fast as possible to help out our Object 263 from getting circled to death by that Object 84. And I quickly decide to capture base B, because it does not look like it's going too hot for our team right now. We already lost one tank, and the enemy already has 2 bases captured, and they have a point advantage. So if I am able to capture base B, it will help our team to get the points back up in case it comes down to who has the most points at the end of this battle. There we go. We captured base B, and I noticed 2 enemies crossing through mid, so I'm going to take this advantage to get a shot off on that IS-8, lowering him down to a 1 shot. But I noticed that the Object 84 is about to push our 263. With my alpha and that 263's damage per minute, we'll easily be able to take out the Object 84. And there we go. We get a nice shot into that Object 84, setting him on fire, and the 263 is able to finish him off. I do get hit from behind though, so I decide to push up, get into cover, allow myself to reload before I push back out. I pull out and see if I could try to get a shot on that Vickers. However, it does not look like I will be able to, so I start pushing up with the 263 behind me, and it looks like the Vickers just took out our T30. And of course, I missed my shot, but the 263 nails his shot, lowering down the Vickers to a definite 1 shot to anyone on our team. The IS-8 manages to track us in place, but he does no damage to us, so we are able to use our repair kit, move in, and easily take him out and sending him back to the garage. The 263 keeps pushing forward as I push over to the left hand side to cut off the Vickers light if he tries to run away. We are currently in a 3v3 situation, so I'm trying to move over there and take out that Vickers as fast as possible. However, our Malshin is taken out, so we are in a 2v3, but we quickly settle that back down to a 2v2. And I start backing up because the E5 starts pushing in, and I don't want to get hit from him just yet. I want to trade with him. So once I am fully loaded, I push back out and I get a shot into his track, dealing a good amount of damage. However, he does hit me in return. So I start backing up, waiting for a full reload, but I decide to go and flank around since the Waffle Tractor didn't push in with the E5. So I load HE, I go around the corner, and all I have to do is line up the shot and take out that Waffle Tractor. Easy peasy. So now it is a 2v1 situation. All that's left is that E5. I pull back into cover and I wait for a full reload, and I let my 263 push forward to take any hits. However, the E5 is pushing towards me, so I pull out, he bounces my gun mantlet, and I'm gonna get a shot into him, and the 263 is gonna take him out, and we are going to get the win. My thoughts on the Object 704 is that it is not broken or wildly overpowered, and it does not absolutely suck. It is a good and fun tank to play, but is it worth keeping in your garage? I'll let you answer that question.